It's Jack from B&T MacFarlane, and today we're going to be going over the brand new U17-5 from Kubota, so let's get into it. So we have the brand new U17-5 from Kubota. It's by far one of the most popular excavators we sell here at the dealership. It's because of how versatile it is. Guys love them because they're able to get into backyards, into some smaller spaces, and do a ton of work with them. So the U17-4 was already an amazing excavator, but they made a bunch of changes to the -4 that made it even better. So we're gonna go into today's video, all the features that are massive upgrades in the -5. So Kubota loves their numbers, so U17 fits in our 1.7 ton excavator class. It's also a U series. So if you know anything about Kubota excavators, you'll know that there's a U model of excavators and a KX model of excavators. In the 2-ton class, you have the U17 and the KX 018. So the U series never has tail swing or has limited tail swing. On the U series, it's a true no tail swing excavator. So when you swing the machine around like this, the counterweight on the back never hangs outside past the tracks, where on the KX equivalent, the KX 018, if you were to swing that machine around, you would be hanging over the outside of the tracks. Since this machine is designed for compact, tight areas into small backyards, it's extremely handy having that no tail swing machine, because you know once you're in the customer's backyard or once you're in a job site, if you swing, there's no danger of hitting the customer's house, the neighbor's car, anything like that. So it does make it extremely handy on this size of machine. So now taking a look at the end of the machine on the U17, this is where the majority of the changes actually are on this excavator, and they are amazing changes. So on the U17-4, we had to put the thumb bracket on the machine ourselves. So our techs would weld it on, plumb in the relief valves, get it all ready for a thumb. From Kubota factory, it comes pre-welded with this bracket on, which is a huge upgrade. I'll also show you the upgrade to the thumb control. It's no longer on the foot pedal, but it's actually on your hand. It's a much more reasonable spot to be using your thumb, because before, if you're using the thumb on your foot, it was a kind of not a very sensitive pedal either. It was either all on, all off. The thumb would snap open, snap close. And it's tough to also gauge how hard you're going to be pressing it with your foot. On your thumb, it's a lot more natural, and it's the same as all of our other bigger excavators. This is a huge upgrade too on the end. This is a diverter switch. So previously, there was no diverter from Kubota on the U17-4. So that meant if you had a thumb on the machine and then you also had an auger that you were going to be looking to use, you would have to completely disconnect your thumb, connect your auger, and then actually hook it up and use it. Now you can keep your thumb always wired in, and then you can just flip the valve and then plug in your auger whenever you do use that auger. So there's no disconnecting hoses, there's no worrying about fittings not coming apart, reconnecting them, anything like that. In terms of the specs, they are all actually the same on the end of the bucket as the U17-4, so that is really nice. There is no real hydraulic coupler options from Kubota standard, but you do just get a 16-inch tooth bucket and then a 24-inch flat bucket like you see here are the two standard bucket sizes. Some attachments for the end, you're able to get augers, breakers, rakes, rippers, anything like that. Some things that you might be limited to would be like a rototilt setup. They do make them for it, but it is a little bit on the small side for that. And then brush cutter attachments as well. So nothing that requires too much flow, but again, augers, breakers, stuff like that would run no problem on this machine. So now looking at the blade on the U17-5, it's the exact same specs, exact same dimensions as on the -4 model. So you'll see here, it's in its smallest configuration, which is 39 inches wide, and its biggest configuration is 48 inches wide. You might be wondering why there's two configurations. It's actually because the tracks go in and out on this machine. Again, extremely useful if you're going into tight backyards. So the tracks will actually compress down to 39 inches, and then they can expand out to 48 inches, which is what you see here. So the tracks are at 48, blades at 39 right now, and then that's extremely handy. You go 39 inches, get through your customer's gate, get into a tight area. Once you're in the backyard where it's a little bit more wide open, you expand them out, you're a lot more stable, and then you can use the machine how it's meant to be used. So I'll show you the track process of how you actually go in and out with them in a second here. So now I'm going to show you how to do the track change function. This actual way I'm going to do it the first go around is going to be really good if you're on a hard surface like asphalt or concrete like we are now. And then I'll show you the other way right after. So there's a little lever on my right calf that you pull up, and that just turns the blade function into the track change function. So I just pulled it up there. Now my blade back is going to suck my two tracks in. So now I'm at 39 inches wide, and then you just push that lever back down, and now up and down the blade controls your tracks again. So that is the way to do it if you're on a hard surface like concrete. But if you're on a customer's lawn, I know you're immediately thinking, well, if I push the tracks in and out like that, then I'm gonna ruin the customer's lawn. So I'll show you the other way that you can do it. Get the blade behind you, put the bucket down in front of you like this, and then you're gonna pick yourself up at the front, put the blade down, and now your excavator is completely in the air. Flip to the track change mode, and then do the exact same process. There you go. And then to let yourself go, you just pull up, fall down at the front, and then just pick up, and away you go. So now I'm up in the operator station on the new U17-5, and again, a lot of changes happen in this operator station on the -5 excavators, and the U17 is no exception. You get more legroom. I know it doesn't sound like a lot, but you get 1.5 inches of extra legroom, which if you've ever used the U17-4 before, you'll know that if you're a taller operator, I'm not super tall, I'm 5'9", 5'10", so if you're a bigger guy and then your knees would be kind of close to you on the older models, that 1.5 inches does make quite a big difference. That thumb control, it's also on your thumb. So previously it used to be on your left foot right here. Now it's just a blank switch there where you can rest your foot, but it's way easier to use the thumb, augers, breakers on this machine. And then they also have this unit up here on the roll bar. So instead of your information on the machine being back here where it used to be, it's actually up here. So then you also get auto throttle as well, and then you have an LED work light on this machine now. But other than that, if you're used to driving the U17-4, a lot of the controls and operations are going to be identical, although that thumb, that is a huge upgrade, so I'm mentioning it again. So looking at the back of the new U17-5, you'll see they stuck with the -5 paint job. It is black back here. It looks amazing. I'm personally a huge fan of that new paint job. Opening back, it's the exact same engine that powered the -4. It's a 16 horsepower Kubota diesel engine. Everything is relatively accessible back here, as accessible as it can be on an excavator of this size. So you have all your filters and checks here. Along that side, you will have your test points. So if you have any hydraulic issues, you're able to test pressures right there. And again, since this sits below the 26 horsepower, it does not have DPF or anything like that to worry about. So maintenance on these is really straightforward. So now talking about the tracks on the U17-5, we mentioned that they do go in and out from 39 to 48 inches, but there's also only one option of tracks on these machines. It's only these rubber tracks right here, which again isn't a bad thing. I can't see any world where people would want steel tracks on these. And then the track tensioning is all right there, super easy to get at if you do have to tension the tracks eventually. Kubota has done an amazing job on the new U17-5. They made it even better over the -4, which really, I didn't really know if that was going to be possible, but they took all of the customer feedback, all the user feedback, and did all of the changes in this new model. You got the new thumb, you got the diverter valve, and of course you got more operator legroom, and you got that new paint job from the -5 excavator. So I really think Kubota has done an amazing job with this new addition on the U17. And that's where we're going to end today's video. If you have any comments or questions, make sure you leave them down below. If you're enjoying the videos, remember to like and subscribe. And if you need help with parts, sales, or service, give us a call at 613-225-0555. Thank you.